Blah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I can't say gentlemen. I can't say the word. I just can't say it. It's not that difficult a word to say either. Hello, ladies. Why can't I do it? Why can't I get that out? Why is it so difficult right now? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Los Angeles Bias. As usual, my name is Russell here in my apartment at the beautiful University of Southern California. Unfortunately, Sasha cannot be in this video with me again this week. It looks like we will be shooting the remainder of the videos for this season like this, where he sends me his segment on UCLA. Unfortunately, we're both just extremely busy people, so it's very difficult for him to come and drive out all the way to South Central just to shoot these videos while he's back home doing his own schoolwork, his own stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out our latest episode. In this episode, Sasha will be going over his opinion on the shootout between UCLA and Utah this Saturday, and I will be going over just where USC stands during their bye week, how they're trying to get healthy, and how these next couple games are going to be going, and just their implications in the Pac-12 South. But thank you guys so much for checking out this episode, and welcome to LA Bias. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's just jump right on into it, shall we? So this past week was USC's bye week, a much needed bye week for the University of Southern California. We really needed it to really get healthy. You know, a couple weeks ago, Zach Banner was hurt. He did play in the last game, but I think he needed this week to kind of get back to 100%. Juju's been suffering through a little bit of a back injury experience in the last game, but he said he looks like he's going to be fine for the Cal game. Justin Davis, he still has that high ankle sprain, but he does think there's a high possibility that he can come back and play during the Cal game. Even though Ronald Jones and Cedric Ware and Dominic Davis, they looked good in the game against Arizona, it's always nice to have our starting running back. And unfortunately, you know, Stephen Mitchell will be out for the remainder of the year. But I think it's very important for this week for our Trojans to really get healthy, rest up, and just get ready for kind of a gauntlet of the next couple games. The month of November is vital for the season. I mean, it's vital every season, but more so now because we started so rough. You know, that first game against Alabama, going back all those weeks, and now that loss against Stanford is looking worse and worse as Stanford ends up getting blown out and just losing game after game after game. So we really need to come out, beat Cal, beat Oregon, keep it close with Washington, then end up beating UCLA and beating Notre Dame, just to prove that, you know, South Central has a heartbeat still when it comes to football. But you know what, I'm very optimistic for these next couple of weeks. We do play Cal this next Thursday, 7:30 night game, Pac-12 after dark, you know, weird things happen. But, you know, Cal's been this weird, sneaky team out here in the Pac-12. You know, they had this amazing win for the program against Texas a couple weeks ago, which, you know, at the time everyone thought Texas was going to be a real threat. But I think Cal proved something that day. You know, they proved this past weekend especially that they have an offense. They've got an offense where they can go out and they can just score points. But frankly, they do not have a defense. And if there's one thing USC does have right now, it's a solid defense. Our corners are playing pretty shut out. Our line is not giving up any rushing yards, considering where they started. So our defense is on fire. Ever since Sam Darnold took the lead, our offense is starting to click. This last game, I don't think he had any turnovers. Look at that. So he's starting to fix that. Honestly, I think we are going to roll over Cal this next Thursday night. And thank you. This is my first time ever saying this. Thank you to the Pac-12 for scheduling a Thursday night game for us, because that's Halloween weekend. And believe me, if it was going to be on that Saturday night, nobody was going to be there. So thank you for that, Pac-12. But then the weekend after that, we play Oregon for homecoming. And I remember being scared at the beginning of the season, being like, oh no, we play Oregon for homecoming. Who would schedule Oregon for homecoming? We're gonna lose. We can't lose the homecoming game. No, that's terrible. But no, I honestly think Oregon's gonna be probably one of the easiest games we've had all year. They've just lost their fifth straight in a 100-point affair to Cal this past weekend. They don't have a defense. They don't know what the word defense means, frankly. They have a bit of an offense, but not even that good of an offense. Not an offense that can get through our defense right now. So it's going to be a lot of fun going to that homecoming game and just seeing us stomp the Oregon Ducks, this what used to be a juggernaut in the Pac-12. But yeah, I'm actually very hopeful for the next couple games for the USC Trojans. You know, that Washington game will be extremely difficult. I don't think we're going to pull out a win, but if we can keep it relatively competitive, I do think we may end up being ranked by the end of the year, which would be nice considering where we started. But yeah, besides that Washington game, I honestly think we're gonna win out. You know, UCLA kind of got stomped in a bit of a shootout with Utah this past weekend, and Notre Dame just looks terrible. I mean, the fact that even people are talking about them possibly firing Coach Kelly is just crazy. It just shows you how bad their season's going. But yeah, for the Pac-12 South, I don't think SC has much of a chance with Colorado beating Stanford this past weekend and Utah beating UCLA. Those two teams would practically need to lose out, and we would need to win out in order for us to win the Pac-12 South. But I do think we're going to make it to a bowl game, which is a nice way to just save the season, I guess. I'm just trying to stay optimistic. It's been a rough season for the USC Trojans. But yeah, so Sasha has sent me his segment on UCLA, so thank you, Sasha, for that. And yeah, so Sasha, go ahead, take it away.
So UCLA played Utah this weekend. Was not the game that anybody expected. I thought it was going to be a defensive battle at the Rose Bowl. I thought these were two of the best defenses in the Pac-12, and it turned out to be a shootout with both teams almost putting up 50-plus points. Mike Faithful threw the ball 70 times. That's a new record for UCLA. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You don't want your backup quarterback to have the most attempts in school history, because he ends up throwing 4 interceptions. He ends up having a fumble. He ends up losing you guys the game. That's how it is. I like the concept they had. I liked the fact that they completely abandoned the run game. Wasn't working. They didn't know how to fix it. So why try to fix it at that point? I like the air raid if it's not Mike Faithful. If it's anybody else. Because he had a decent game, but you can't expect to win the game when you have 4 interceptions and a fumble. That's just a recipe for disaster. It doesn't work. That many turnovers, it doesn't work unless you're forcing that many turnovers on defense. Which we obviously didn't, because Utah put up 350-plus rushing yards on us. Sure, we had a couple nice plays here and there. Tip pass for an interception. Tack McKinley, a couple forced fumbles. Who had a really good game, by the way. 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, a couple tackles for loss. Looked like a first-round defensive end. Amazing. Too bad it's all going to waste. This year's gone to waste pretty much, because turns out Rosen's out for the rest of the year. At this point, you're just trying to save what you've done so far, which isn't much, but turn it into at least somewhat of a positive, and by that, try to get to a bowl game. It's going to be hard. You have to beat Colorado, USC, Oregon State. Doesn't look too good. The chances don't look great of making a bowl game, but that's the best case scenario at this point. And, you know, not losing recruiting grounds. Saving it all up for next year, for Rosen's potentially last year. Going all out then. Changing whatever you need to change in the offseason. I'm actually really curious to see what they're going to change. Who more blames the running game or the lack thereof on. Whether he blames it on Palomalu, the offensive coordinator. Whether he blames it on Adrian Clem, the offensive line coach. Whether he blames it on Yarber, the receiving coach, for completely demolishing our receiving core because nobody can catch the ball. Ever. Because Faithful, who has a pretty weak arm, I wouldn't say weak, but it's pretty average, who floats balls everywhere, receivers are still dropping the ball. And receivers like Theo Howard are still sitting on the bench. He gets 1 play or 2 plays a game. He gets 1 play designed for him. They throw it his way. Faithful underthrows it. Corner makes an average play on the ball because it was pretty much thrown to the corner the way it was underthrown. Theo Howard had 2 or 3 steps on the guy. Underthrown, it's a pick, and then you never see Theo Howard again. You don't know who to blame anymore because offensive line obviously isn't working. Scheme obviously wasn't working, that's why they went to the air raid. Receivers can't catch. You don't know who to blame anymore because everybody should be blamed. And it's a lost season at this point. You gotta hope for the best. Defense didn't look good, but it didn't look horrible because I can't blame them that much because when you're defending that long against that kind of running back and you're usually defending in that like field position where when you throw a pick, it's usually going to come back to your side of the field. And the defense was always in that kind of position, whether it was a 3-and-out or we threw the pick or we fumbled it. They always had their backs up against the wall, and I don't expect them to ever defend that well for that long. And it didn't work. Credit to Joe Williams, he had an amazing game. 350 plus yards. Rushing is outstanding. Defensive line just decided not to defend the run. I can't explain why. They did it fine all season up until now. Decided to turn it off when the offense finally turned it on, sort of. But yeah, I can't totally blame this on the defense. They were gassed pretty much from the get-go with the way the offense was playing and the way the Utah offense was playing. So I wouldn't pin it completely on them since I'll cut them some slack because they've been playing great all year. But you expect more from the defense, and we didn't get it. We didn't get a complete game. We didn't get a win at the end. And you hope for better, but at this point you don't see it getting much better, especially with Colorado, I think, is a better opponent than Utah. USC's probably going to whoop on us because we don't match up with them at all. And we're going to play at the Rose Bowl. It's not even home field advantage. It's pretty much a neutral site game, and we're going to get probably smoked. We'll beat Oregon State because it's Oregon State. Probably will make a bowl game, but we'll see. If we get lucky, we might. And so that's your pessimistic review on UCLA this weekend and for the weeks to come. And thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll send it back to Russell.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Sasha, for that segment. See you guys, this is gonna work. I think this is the way of shooting these videos work. We just want to keep on pushing out the videos for you guys. You know, obviously we don't have too many viewers right now, but we really appreciate the people who actually end up watching the videos every week. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We try to make it as funny as possible. I'm sorry I don't have any, more current highlights for you guys. Unfortunately, I haven't been no USC games I've been able to go to these last couple weeks, but I will be going to the Cal game. I will, of course, be going to the Oregon homecoming game, so I'll be getting a lot of footage for you guys coming up. Hopefully some excited touchdowns, some great plays, maybe an Adoree pick six, an Adoree punt return, something like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming back and watching these episodes here at Los Angeles Bias, and I will see you guys next week in the next episode. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.
That counts. Oh. Yes, it does.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Los Angeles Bias. As usual, my name is Russell, here from my lovely apartment at the University of Southern California. Unfortunately, Sasha,